hello, and welcome to the chat.
Oh boy. Here we
Don't-
go again. Here we go again. Here we go again. Yeah.
Please let us know where you are tuning in from. Make sure you hit like and share. Please hit like and share. Will be in and out.
I will be in and out.
More in than out. Yes, come on in. Come on in. Hello, Michelle. Thanks for joining. Hello, Mama. Thanks for joining. AJ.
Oh wow.
Did you have a shortage or something?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it. And when the guy was walking me through it last week, because it's actually done it a couple times. We just did it a few minutes ago, but then it went out again. I don't know what's happening.
Okay. Well, this is so cute. I love it. I love our new office. I love it. So anyway, come on in and join us.
Yeah.
And we'll be getting started in here just a minute.
Yeah.
So, how was your weekend? Your last week and going into the weekend, how was it?
Hey Amy. My weekend was there I go. There I go.
You was back. You was back a couple times. It was like,
Oh, was I? See,
yeah.
on my screen, it doesn't show anything. So
Oh, yeah.
you've been able to see me?
Yes.
Well, let me know when you can see me because on mine it's showing like a black screen.
Oh, yeah, no, I see you.
Okay, well now I can see me. Okay, all right. So it's been good. I had a decent weekend. See, is it out? Can you see me?
No, it went out.
Okay. It's been all right. How's yours been?
We're not gonna fret. It will be fine.
Yeah.
But that's good. Yeah, I had a pretty quiet, not much happening. I did work a little bit over the weekend. Walter and I just kind of hung out. Then today was quiet. He was off, so we were both at home. But same old, same old.
Anything? Any progression with what you're looking to do for Asia?
Yes, but I can't because just in case she's watching.
Oh, okay, yeah. We have to talk about that afterwards.
She is celebrating with a couple of her friends, and they're going out to eat and things like that. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, we'll definitely talk about it off air because I'm excited.
Awesome. Any exciting things happen to those who are joining us this week?
Yes.
I'm looking for some breakthroughs this week. I need some excitement in my life. So Justin and I had a conversation on yesterday because I was feeling, when I had the other job, I was working 1 to 10. I told you all my day was gone.
Right.
And since I no longer work in that job, it's like I have a lot of time. And I'm sitting there, I'm asking him, why is he always at work? So we had this long conversation yesterday, and I just realized I need to get a life. I got a lot of things that I can be working on, need to be working on, and I'm going to put some of that life coaching skills together for myself.
Right.
So after the show, I'm going to write down some goals, some things that I want to do, because basically I was sucking the life out of him because I needed some me time when the tables were reversed. I didn't hear any complaining from here. So yeah, I need to figure out what I'm going to do. I might come over there and bug you to death.
Well, I mean, that's fine because it's some things that I need to be working on, and I need to be writing down some goals as well when I get off. And some things that I want to put in action and like work on one thing because I have a tendency to work on multiple things, and confused mind does nothing. So I have to make sure that I concentrate on one thing and basically master that one thing. And get that in order and then move on to the next thing. So I just need to do better with doing it instead of having all these open-ended projects that nothing ever ends up getting complete.
Why don't you think that? This is the coach. Why don't you think you finish stuff? I have a tendency too. Do you think it's not relevant as far as it's not important to you at that time?
No, I think that I like so many things that when I see things and I think that I can do it,
Uh-huh.
and then I do it and I complete it, then I'm like, okay, I'm done with that. On to the next thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And instead of like, I started off making purses like last year or something, and I made one. And then, but I have all the materials to make plenty more.
Uh-huh.
But I haven't. And it really, and literally it took 15 minutes. And I mean, I can look at my day and see where I bull crap away 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I could really probably perfect it to, how I want it to be. If I had just invest the time. But it's like, oh, you did it. Like, it's, sometimes I just prove it to myself, but it's a characteristic flaw or a character flaw or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That I need to get rid of, because it's not helping me at all.
Okay. All right. Michelle says she's doing some end of the year cleaning.
I'm like, right now I feel like it might be some really good stuff at the thrift store where people are just yes, I'm doing that as well. But people are cleaning out and clearing out and taking stuff to the thrift store. But my husband would feel like you can't take stuff to the thrift store and then come back home with stuff. So
so you just basically recycling. You going to get new stuff and get okay. I see what you're doing.
So
Yeah, Michelle, I saw that you were or you're going on the Edith White show, which is good, over there at Hampton University. That's good. Nikki had introduced me to Edith White. She is a really good connection. I see that your brand is blowing up all on LinkedIn and Instagram. I'm so proud of you. So extremely proud of you. Yeah.
See if I follow her.
So what are we talking about today?
Yeah.
I know you had some really good topics.
Yes, I was excited about them. But I first want to talk about the stripper life. Over the weekend, we'll talk about her, but then we'll talk about like the bachelorette party. So over the weekend, Cynthia Bailey was married to Mike Hill.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I don't know when she had the bachelorette party, but at any rate, she had the bachelorette party, and Portia, what is Portia's last name?
Williams.
Is it her? Okay, so Portia. So they had a stripper there,
mm-hmm.
and his name is Bolo. I think it's Bolo.
Mm-hmm.
And he used to, if you remember that show that Vivica Fox had with the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Show with all the strippers. Yes.
Yeah, you're right. Uh-huh.
So he was one of the strippers that was on the show.
Okay.
And so he was a stripper at the bachelorette party. And Portia and another young lady, what's her name? I
saw the picture. I didn't recognize who she was.
Yeah, I never heard of her before either. I don't know if her first name was Kim or if her last name was Kim. I don't know. But anyway, the young lady. Anyway, so they were talking about, have a good time and all this kind of stuff. So allegedly it was that they were supposed to have slept with or had some type of sexual activity with him.
Right.
And he made a post and was like, I've always been professional. I never, divulge any information about what happens or whatever. I'm always a professional. And he was like, I'm not a stripper. I am the stripper. and so I showed Walter the picture. I was like, I said, they didn't just go in the room with him and just watched him, because they could have watched him with everybody else.
Right.
Like, I was like, yeah. And he was definitely like, he's definitely a performer. When he was on the Chocolate Factory, flipping, he working at like all of that. So I was just like, yeah, I believe that there was some other activities going on, but he was like, I would never tell that. I would never say anything about that. What happened, because I'm a professional and I've always conducted myself as a professional. I was like, yeah, I know what that means. So, but my whole thing with that is being in a relationship with a stripper, like, is that ideal? Like, could is it really ideal to be in a relationship? Because even when I watched P Valley, and it was a young lady that was in a relationship with this guy, and she was a stripper, and he would just like, he couldn't take the fact that she was really stripping, and and he was very he was not kind to her at all. And then he came into the strip club and was just acting a pretty donkey. So can you really have a real like relationship? Do people? I mean, is it ideal? Do you think?
It's an ideal. I mean, it's something that I would seek out to say when I grow up. I want to, marry a stripper. I think it's perfectly doable if you have to have those tight boundaries. I mean, I don't know if anybody grows up and say I want to be a stripper. I don't know. I think that just happens to certain people in life. I don't know anybody who says when I grow up I want to be a stripper.
Well, no, I don't think that. Yeah, I think things happen, and then it's like, okay, let me just do that.
Do this in between while I'm in school or while I'm working on this, while my business is growing up.
Right.
So yeah.
So
If it's a situation that you gotta do to pay the bills, get us through, then I could come with you every week and sit there until you get off work.
I just don't even know that if I were in stripper mode, that I would necessarily want to look up and see my significant other across the room watching me watch him. I don't even want to watch him, and I definitely don't think I would want him to watch me. Because what if I'm not, like, what if you're, you know what I'm saying? That's my thing. Like, what if you are not that way at home, but you're a different kind of way at the strip club? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's the conversation. You know what I mean? That's the conversation. So what's the deal? Why do you bring it at home?
I have never seen you twirl like that at home.
Yeah, exactly.
You did a somersault. I have never seen you do
exactly.
And stop down. Like,
I don't know. What do y'all think? Do y'all think Michelle said if it's an open relationship, it can work.
Because I just think, like, I'm not saying all strippers do, but I think that there's a lot of extra. Like if you watch P Valley or whatever, like,
still never seen it.
Oh, you have got to watch it. Like the VIP room and a bunch of the extra stuff that happens. Like I've been in a strip club one time. It wasn't my all-time favorite place to be. But I'm sure there's like extra stuff. And then from watching P Valley, like I'm sure there's like, I can see you now.
I had to keep doing all these things. I shouldn't have to do that, but go ahead. Yeah.
Some extra stuff that's going on. But yes, Michelle, that's more of a business relationship. But right. And then at what point is like, okay, I'm gonna make enough money to get me up and get you up, and then we're gonna split up. I mean,
I don't think it should be permanent career goals in a relationship. But if you gotta get us by, I hear you can make a lot of money.
Well, no, not necessarily career goals, but like to be in a relationship with a stripper. Like, could you actually be in a relationship with a stripper? Knowing that
that's what I'm telling you. If that is something that you're doing right now while you're in medical school or while you're in school, then I could probably deal with that. But if those are your career goals, yeah, I'm a stripper. That's why I'm gonna retire a stripper. Dude, woman, whatever it is at that time. No, no, that's not what I'm talking about.
What do you need to move out of the strip club? What do you need?
Okay. What are your long-term goals? I understand that's where you are now, but what are your goals?
Right.
In the very near future, if you're with me.
I've watched a couple of documentaries where they have like the guys and they're like, this is my girlfriend and she's making my outfits and, all that kind of stuff. And I just like, I just remember when I've learned some things at like from, bachelorette parties. I've learned, having stripper men, but I went this one time, it was actually at my bachelorette party, and this guy came, he was stripping, and I forgot his Spanish something, I forget, but he brought a guy with him, and then the guy went in the room with him, and I was just like what did you do when you went in there? Like, how does that work? Like, what happened when you went in the room? You helped him get
It's a shame you can't see my face right now, but okay. What had happened was, yeah. No.
Woo. Okay, so yeah, I was just quite confused, but then it was my bachelor, so I had to bypass all that
Mhm.
and then focus on some other stuff because I had like a little toy party or whatever, and
Mhm.
then I learned some stuff from her, so Michelle said he was making his.
Oh, Michelle. Oh my gosh. I know that's right. However, you got to earn. Look, don't ask. Look, don't ask
Oh,
questions.
okay, so I knew she was going. I knew she was going to remember his name was the Italian Stallion
Oh my gosh.
because it was her coworker. And then that's my mama. That
Uh,
is her coworker. So the Italian Stallion. Of course, I knew she was going to remember. That's why I was like the Spanish something. But anyway,
mm.
his name. Yeah. So he brought his little guy friend or whatever with him, and his friend was in there. So I just thought it was awkward, but whatever. Yeah, he was making. Yeah, I guess he was making his paper in every sense of the word. I guess.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Okay.
Let's move on. So the girl on the reel. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Is it Jeannie May or Jeannie Ma?
Yeah, Jeannie Mai.
Jeannie Mai. Okay. So she's getting married to Jeezy, and she says that she plans to submit to her husband after they get married. And everybody's like been giving her some beef online because they were saying that she still considers herself a very dominant woman to the world at large. She says she runs a business, has a good career, and everything like that. But she is really down for the idea that the man should lead us. She said it doesn't mean that she doesn't consider herself. She considers herself lower or less important than her other half. She said, "What I learned in my life, for my definition of marriage, I'm a very dominant woman. I own my business. I lead my teams. I played my own manager, my own publicist, my own lawyer when I didn't have money to do those things. So when I make the decisions in my life," she explains, "when I come home, I like the idea that my man leads us." She said it doesn't mean that he makes all decisions for us. That doesn't mean that he says how we're spending our money or where we're moving to, or that I say yes, sir, or yes, your honor. Like it's not like that. She said, you know what? I think she said it's best for him to say, you know what? I think that we should do this here, or this is best for us. I want to do this. He takes a decision and he runs it by me first. He formulates it with our overall vision in mind and he leads us. I like to submit to that. So, what do you feel about submission? Do you feel submission is a sign of weakness? I noticed they took, that obey out of the vows.
Yeah. No, I do not think that submission is a sign of weakness. I do not, because I think that she has described most, if not majority of relationships that people have. And I think that, it's a matter of if you're good in this area, if you're good in this area, then okay, I'm going to follow you in this area. If I'm good in another area, then you will listen to my ideas or my perspective on this particular area. I think that, if you're looking at it in a biblical sense, or if you're looking at it just, the man is the head of the households or whatever, in different things work for different people. And if she feels like she's wanting to, like she said, not everything she's going to agree with, but he is, he's the head, and so she will give. And I don't think necessarily that it was a submissive. I mean, maybe submissive, but I think what you just described to me was more like, I will not make him feel like he's less than a man. I won't, attack his character, and hopefully he won't attack me. I won't make him feel like he is not the head, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't think that there's anything wrong with submission, because I think that, two people can't. I mean, yes, she's dominant in the work world, but that's not to say that that's the type of person that she is at home. And there's a lot of people, it's like, yeah, in the job that I do, I have to wear the dominant coat, but that doesn't mean that that I am like, I want to be the dominant one at home. And yes, marriage is a partnership, but I didn't take it like, I mean, as Michelle said, she said, I can't work with that, but I wish her luck. Like, I don't feel like I didn't hear anything that I felt like was horrible. Like I didn't like, I mean, because I feel like, again, it's a give and take. There's certain areas where I let my husband, like, no, my husband is gonna take care of that. Like my husband, like I know relationships and women who take the money, like who give their husbands allowances. And then I know relationships where the men give the women allowances. And that's all they get. And you gotta do for that month with it. And then like the person who makes more of the money gets the biggest allowance.
Now that's foolishness. I think that's foolishness. I don't know. I'm a little indifferent about it. I think that I understand the traditional values about the man should be the head of the house, but that was in a different day when pretty much the woman stayed home. She was a homemaker. It's a lot of women now who out earn the men. So I feel like Michelle says it is definitely a partnership. Um, Now she did say to your defense, Shanika, she said it's not like she's saying yes sir, or yes your honor. It's like he says I think that we should do this here, or I want to do this, and he takes a decision. He formulates it with our overall vision, and he leads us. I like to submit to that. So he's not using it to belittle her or to make her feel less than.
Right.
But I don't understand how you can be, if she's been a CEO or this big powerful woman in the workplace, I don't understand how you can transfer that power home and then
because
totally submissive.
Because I think that even with her upbringing as being her nationality, I think that
cultural, so it's a cultural thing.
Yeah, I think, to me, I think cultural wise, but I think that that's just kind of how it is, like in her culture. But again, it is a partnership. I'm definitely not saying that it's not a partnership, but there's some times where I want my husband to, I just want him to lead. Like I know for a fact that my husband is not going to make a decision that is not going to be, like she said, for the overall benefit of us. Like even when he goes and I know this is crazy, but let me not even say that, but I know people who, even when they go make a big purchase, it's like, I know some people who would just make the purchase. And then I know some people who will call that spouse and say, okay, this is how much it is. Is that price okay? Or do you want me to keep looking? Or you want to come look at it? You want to see it? I'll send you a picture.
What's the right way? Which is the right thing to do?
I think it's just a matter of how your relationship is set up. Like if you have an agreement, like it doesn't matter, you can make the purchase, then that's one thing. But if you have the agreement, like, okay, when we discuss before we make big purchases over, $400 or $500, we discuss that, then, that's another thing. But, for me and my husband is not the furniture picker. Like we'll go and pick out furniture, but ultimately it's like, okay, this is what I like. Now I know that even when it comes down to like sheets on the bed, like I'm not going to get something that's way feminine, or like, covers on the bed. Like I'm not going to get something that's way feminine because he has to sleep in there too. So he don't want to just be like, okay, this is not my space as well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that, it's just, I think it just whatever works for your relationship. Some things don't work for people. And I think that's how people get in financial situations, because you don't have conversations, like that. But I think that after a while, my husband, like, and I don't even think that if he didn't call me over like a $400 or $500 purchase, that I would even be mad, because I know that I feel like he would be still making a good choice. Like he just didn't go out and spend. Like sometimes I have to tell him, like, you deserve it. Like, go ahead, it's fine. Like you don't need to run that past me. Like you can, like you work hard every day for your money. Like, but
that's a tricky thing, because what if one time he goes out and you like, why would you buy that? So he's gonna work hard every day for his money that he can do that?
But I know him enough to know that he's not going to. And if there's ever a time that he would do that, like, I know that there's a serious problem. Like a serious problem.
So Michelle says, I feel you should consult on big purchases. Now, and what type relationship is this? Is this a relationship where you pool your money? Because we have not gotten to that yet. We have an account that we have together, which got a couple of pennies in it, literally, because we don't have the same spending styles. Just i.e., Justin, I got in the mail the other day a Pac-Man arcade machine. Exactly the face I gave. That's exactly the face I gave. He was at work, saw it on QVC, and because my nickname, my family name, which is Packy, everybody who like knows me growing up, my family, that's my nickname.
Right.
Thought it was Pac-Man, and thought it would be nice for him to order me like this $100 and some arcade, it's a miniature, like the arcade machine.
Yes.
The Pac-Man. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, I can't be ungrateful because he did it, but that's definitely nothing I would have invested $100 and some in.
But I think, again, as you would say, that's a conversation. A
conversation on how he spends his money, though.
A conversation on that you appreciate the thought, but it's not okay. Because are you going to play with it?
I played with it that day. I haven't played with it since.
Do you see it's something that you're going to be utilizing on a regular basis?
I wish. Good thing the camera's not on.
Okay, it's back on. Okay.
No, I'm still trying to figure out. It's like I'm looking at it, I'm like,
So that's the conversation, because even with Walter, like he has his own account and I have my own account.
Mm-hmm.
He can see, but he can still see my accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows what's there. And I really think that between him and my mom, I really think that they think I don't like, I'm just this pitiful child and I don't have nothing. I don't have no money at all. And I just let them just keep, I'm not saying I'm just out here just rolling it dough, but I'm not broke either.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning how to manage my money. You know what I'm saying? And I'm learning, like yesterday I told Walter, I was like, we're going to the grocery store. And then he was like, okay. And then like I bought up all this stuff. He's like, are you going to cook this stuff? I was like, yes, because I'm not going to keep going. I realized how much money I spent out. Like once we came off the pandemic,
yes,
I realized how much money I saved when we were on quarantine and then how much money I spend while we're not. And I was like, no, I cannot keep, that's like when you're talking about $5 here, $5 there, $5 here, $5 2 and 3 times a day, like that's a lot of money. And I'm like, no, I'm going to cook and we're going to have leftovers and I'm going to take it to work. Because I don't, but those are my spending habits and things like that. Right. But back to you, I just think that you should say, you appreciate, my mama said, just say you don't like surprise.
But you say for the anniversary when he surprised me with the jewelry, I love that. I thought that was good. I think doing what I like.
You like jewelry. So like you do or you don't? What'd you say?
I do. Very much.
So that's what I would say to him. Like, I don't want you to think that I don't appreciate the thought that you put into it, but maybe, I want us to be a little bit more mindful about the what we spend our money on. And, right now, I just think that, we're built, like whatever it is you're building.
Yeah. And building towards, like today we had a conversation. I really strongly feel like there's a second wave coming. Yes. And we may go back into shutdown. And I'm not at my previous job. Right. We need to build that nest egg. And I don't know if that Pac-Man is going to do any good.
Those are the conversations that you need to, because, it's a different, it's okay. So, which actually brings me, let's go into our next topic. Okay. So that will bring me into this. Okay. So of course I already said that, Cynthia Bailey, got married over the weekend, yesterday, as a matter of fact, and she was asked. They were married. She was married to Mike Hill, and she discusses what's different about her going into wedding 2. So I think she was married over like a decade ago to Peter, and that was on the show. So she says, what's different is that I'm different. I'm older. I'm 53 years old. I'm wiser. The only way to learn how to be a wife is to be one. And that was my first experience. I now know what I want and what I don't want in a relationship, in a marriage, she told Page Six in a recent interview. So my question to you is, do you think you are wiser and know more of what you want the second time around? Do you think it has been easier, harder, or about the same as your first marriage, determining what you want and don't want in a relationship or to occur in a relationship?
That's a big question. Do I think I'm wiser? I think I'm more experienced. I don't know about wiser, because my biggest issue is comparison.
Okay.
Just because the first person did it, don't mean I need to be cautious or insecure about the second person doing it. That's had to be verbalized to me a couple times.
Okay.
So I definitely think I'm experienced, and I know what works for me. I know what I do want. I know red flags to look for. But again, that's not necessarily something that I can transfer towards this new relationship, because everybody's different.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think I'm more experienced. What do you think?
Okay. Well, I can't answer. What you mean?
Oh, so this your first one? Oh, yeah. Right. That's right. Anybody else been married multiple times?
But I must say that at 21,
Mm-hmm.
I was not fully aware of who I was. I think that now at 47,
Mm-hmm.
I am fully aware of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes think that because I am fully aware of who I am and I'm growing into who I am, that may pose as a problem, because I'm not necessarily sure that who I am and who I am growing into being and things that I know that I like and, want and things like that, my partner will be able to handle. I don't know, because I think that's the problem. I think that
Well, what does that look like? I don't understand that.
Like, I'm not the 21-year-old person that.
And neither should you be.
I have evolved a lot, and I think that there's just a lot of things that I think that in a sense I don't want to say I became complacent. I've become kind of complacent about, and just like settled and just like, okay, that's fine, whatever, like, or conform to, whatever word you want to put right there. Yes, that Michelle, yes. And not necessarily that I want more, but I want more from me.
Right.
I want more from me and for me, and in a sense. And it's not necessarily materialistic things. It's just like reaching deep down inside of me and seeing what's there. Like, what are my capabilities? What can you do? Can you push out this book? Can you, can you build this man cave business? Can you be a car earner? Can you be like those sorts of things? And I don't necessarily know, because this, my husband has been so used to, excuse me, this me. Oh, excuse me. Thank you. That I don't know if he's ready for the 47 plus me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. I get that. I think another thing, which is, I guess, not necessarily a good thing, but I do also know, like, when I was in my first relationship, the reason, because I told you for a while, the relationship pretty much was over, but we were just there. I think fear kept us both in the relationship. So being on the other side of that, I know that I'm not afraid of being alone. I saw a quote one time that said, I know what I bring to the table, so trust me when I say I'm not afraid to eat alone. I know that it's true now. That was the same. Yeah. So going through, I guess, because we weren't legally married, but going through, I guess, that type situation, which was similar to a divorce. A lot of people think, they stay in it because, I never find anybody else. I never find love again, whatever. I do know that that's not the issue.
Yeah. I don't think, it's funny, because even with being married for 25 years, I think that I would have to say the same. And people would be like, you just say that. And I'm like, no, I don't think that I would be afraid to eat alone either, because I've been I've been in this relationship for 25 years, and I mean, I know this, and I know what this looks like. So, and I'm not saying that, you know, but I think the funny, not the funny thing, but I think it's easy to get married. I think it's easy to be with somebody. You know what I'm saying? It may not necessarily be the person that you want to be with, but I don't think it'd be hard to just go with somebody and be with somebody. Everybody looking to be with somebody. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? There's people to be with somebody. So I don't think that it's hard to be with anybody. I think that the hard part is learning to be by yourself and learning to be content by yourself. But I don't think that I would have a difficult problem being by myself, because I think sometimes that as I've gotten older, I've become an introvert. I think that I really was.
You think you were?
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that may seem difficult, but I really could just be by myself. I really could just be in the house by myself and laugh inside, look at stuff. Like, I watch stuff and don't even turn the volume up.
Now, what's that about?
Because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Like, I like the silence. I just like it.
Do you guess what they're saying, or what?
No, I'll just watch it, and if I think, okay, if I watch it and then I get confused about maybe what's happening, then I'll turn the volume up. But sometimes I could just watch it. Like, I could just have it quiet. Like, I can never run the TV. Like, my husband is a TV watcher, but I can never run the TV. I don't have to have the TV going on. I don't have to have any of this stuff.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I like it quiet. I like it quiet. So, you know.
Now, Michelle says she relies less on her husband. That's interesting.
You know, but I get that. I totally get that, because I think that as people get older, you really fall into alignment with the things that you like, and they don't always necessarily like that. Like, I could, like I said, I could do all of my crafting and stuff. My husband he don't care about that stuff. He could care less. Like, he does, that's not his thing. That's not his thing. And, like, you know, now, like, it's you know, he's looking, you know, he realizes, you know, he's going to be retiring early, so he's trying to get into something. And granted, like, I'll show interest into some things that he likes, because this is kind of interesting to me, but ultimately that's his thing.
Yeah.
That's what makes him happy. So yeah, I feel like I'm now understanding that you have to, you know, understanding when people are saying, like, you have to find the happiness within yourself, because you can't rely on somebody else to make you happy. Because I just think that happiness for people, I think, changes, and it changes daily.
That's interesting. Okay, because that brings me to my next topic, which is kind of let me bring it up here. What Will and Jada has said. Remove. Okay.
I need to learn how to do that. Did you just download that and then you could just post it up there? Because
yeah,
I need to figure it out.
You might not be able to see that, but let me read it off of my phone.
I can see it.
Okay.
It says Will Smith once. That's what you already said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Forgot my password. Hold on. So Will Smith once said in an interview that her happiness is not my responsibility. She should be happy and I should be happy individually. Then we come together and share our happiness. Giving someone a responsibility to make you happy when you can't do it for yourself is selfish. I felt that. So that's something, I'll be honest, I struggle with that. And I think from being an undiagnosed codependent person, and I think, because I told you, even with Nate, when we were together, it was always Will and Nate, which really wasn't to his desire. I found out after the relationship. That was me just being clingy, and my happiness when things weren't good between he and I wasn't happy. I didn't have my own thing going on, my own interests going on. And I told you earlier that I felt like the same thing was happening over again in this relationship. So I think, we are responsible as individuals to be responsible for our own individual happiness. But then I'm thinking, how does that make a good relationship work? I thought you're supposed, or is it things that you're supposed to be doing together? Is it things?
Well, Michelle just said that. She just said, we do things together, but we also do us. But Michelle, my question to you was like, what does doing us look like? But on the flip side of that, it's like, okay, like, sometimes, okay, for instance, there are trips that my husband and I will take together, but there are some trips that I cannot go on with him. And he realizes that because we vacation differently.
What does that mean?
Like I feel like if I'm in the hotel, I don't necessarily I'm not making up the bed. I'm not putting things in order. I feel like I'm vacationing. I feel like somebody's going to come in. They're going to straighten up this stuff. We already know if we're going to keep our towels, we're going to put our towels in a certain area. But I'm not going to clean up the whole room because I might as well. I should just stay down home.
Right.
I was gonna do all that. I didn't come out and go many miles away from home to have to
clean
on vacation. That's not what I came here for. Like if I want to eat pizza on the bed, like why I can't eat pizza on the bed? If I want to have like stuff sprawled out, like his mind is like, you're gonna leave something, and I'm like, I'm not going to leave anything, whatever. So it's just like certain things it's like I need to do with my friends, and certain things I have realized that I can do with him. It's just some things I just know that he's not like when we did paint night for the first time. He had this idea, like he's like, what it is. I'm like, just relax, it's okay, like we're just gonna paint, and I think that he thought all eyes was gonna be on him, and it's like, no, it's like it's a group of us in a room and where everybody's painting and they're gonna come around and some things, but it's just like easing his mind on what's gonna happen, whatever. And like, so it's just certain things. It's just like certain things I'm just like, I can't. Like now, it's certain things I want to experience with him, but then there's certain things that I'm just like, no, we can't do that. Or I'll do it first and have that experience with my friends, and then I'll be like, okay, we could do it now because I've already experienced it, how I want to experience it first, and now I can experience it the way you want to experience it. It won't feel no kind of way.
So Michelle said being able to give each other space to do activities alone is important. But like you just said, there's certain trips that you can't take with your husband. So him taking like an all boys trips, that's cool with you.
He's never. That's funny because he's never done that before.
But would it be cool with you?
Yeah, I would be fine with it.
So I wonder why he's never done it before.
I don't necessarily know that only one friend has really said that. And I think that, I would encourage it. I wouldn't care because I think you would have a good time because you would do what you want, with your friends or whatever. And it's nobody's dictating what you're doing. But, I think that I'm a comfort place for him. I think that I'm a comforter for him.
Mm-hmm.
And that, sometimes it's just like because he's just, I just think that I'm a comforter for him. Sometimes now that we're talking about it and we're looking at it, and then he just needs, he just not, I don't say he needs me around, but he wants, I guess, I hope, I don't know. He ain't up here, so he ain't commenting, but, I don't know, but I mean, I wouldn't have a problem if he took a guy trip. I would really encourage it and be like, what y'all do? Whatever. Did you have a good time or whatever? But honestly, I think I would really have to be like, go. Cause I think initially he may not want to.
But why? Is it because that's just not his personality, or does it have something to do with you?
No, I don't think it would have anything to do with me. I just think that he would just like, okay, like what's going to happen? Like who's going, what's going to happen? What are we going to do? We're going to hang out. He's done some things like, he met up with his cousin and things like that. And, his cousin is a little younger than him. They've met up at, games in Atlanta and stuff like that. But of course, his cousin, like I said, is younger on a different speed than him. So my husband kind of like had to part ways and, a little bit in it because he was like, I wasn't going to the strip club and I wasn't going to, certain things, that they were doing. So, just certain things that he's just not. But I mean, even if he went to the strip club, I wouldn't feel no kind of way.
Sure you would.
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No. I've been in a strip club before.
But him going by himself, like with his friends, you wouldn't have a problem?
No.
Well, I need to sit at your feet and learn. It would be a headline. It would be breaking news.
No, because I just feel like you just need to know. Like, I don't foresee him going in there like spending up. You know, if he pulled out $1, I would be surprised. But if he gave somebody, if he puts $5 on it, I would be surprised. I would probably laugh and laugh and laugh and be like, "What you do?"
Okay.
It would be the Christmas story because I would tell it over and over, be like, "Y'all know he went to the strip club," and then his niece, everybody would have like, we would just laugh. But you know, I don't know. I would just be surprised. But no, I don't. And I think that, this is my take on things. Like when people say, first of all, I just feel like this: you can't keep somebody who don't want to be kept. And even when if you try to tell somebody not to do something, people are going to do what they want to do. So I feel like if the door is open for them to do it, they're less likely to do it if they know they can do it. That's just how I feel. It's like, I put restraints. If you haven't given me any reason to put restraints on you, I'm not going to. It's just like the child. It's like, I'm going to give you, and I think that's why I think my relationship with Asia has been the success that it has been, because I didn't put restraints. I didn't put heavy restraints on her. It's like, you're able to do these things, but you still need to know how to conduct yourself. And when I feel like you're not conducting yourself properly, I will pull those reins back. So I just think that even in a marriage and a relationship, I feel like unless somebody gives you a reason to have that, that restraint on them, like, why? Like, it's like, okay, it's okay. And you may even say, I don't have a problem with you going to the strip club, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they want to go to the strip club.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And some people have a problem with their men going to the strip club. See, Michelle's like, I won't agree with them.
Michelle,
I don't know. I just feel like I'm not, because nothing is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but see, even with that being said, yeah, you gotta watch it, but just because you're watching it or you think you're watching it does not mean that it's still not going to happen, because people will find time to do the things that they want to do. And you could be watching and still be like, well, how the hell did I miss that? If that one day when he was walking to the mailbox and the neighbor across the street was or that one time you thought they was out there talking about the lawn and that's what they was talking about, so, or at the gas station, she called him at the gas station. So, I'm just not, for me, I just don't have that kind of energy. I just don't, I just feel like I just don't have that kind of energy to be running up behind somebody, checking to see what they're going to, because if you're going to do right or you're not going to do right. And even just because you're running up behind them to see if they're going to do right, it still doesn't mean they're going to do right.
True. That's true. Okay. I want you to go to your topic about the question, the situation.
Oh, okay. So let me read this. All right. All right. So this is the scenario. So I want y'all to listen up. Make sure y'all respond. Okay. Is the stepfather wrong in this? Let's talk about it. My name is Stan. I'm a 54-year-old man. My wife, Renee, and I have been married for 22 years. She had 2 beautiful daughters from her previous marriage. The girls were 5 and 7 when we met. Their father, who was a doctor, abandoned them after he and Renee divorced. He remarried and took care of his new family. Meanwhile, I've always taken care of his girls as if they were my own. Renee has been a stay-at-home wife majority of our marriage. I'm a blue-collar worker. I once asked her about seeking the doc for child support. Her reply was, we don't need him, we have you. I asked to adopt the girls, but Renee insisted the doc wouldn't agree to it. Regardless, I continued to take care of my family. I put both girls through college, bought both a car, and was present at all their school events. I'm currently footing the bill for the eldest daughter's wedding and helping the youngest take care of her 5-year-old. I'm the only papa the baby knows. The doc recently divorced his wife and has been trying to repair the relationship with his daughters. My daughter told me she wanted her biological dad to give her away and do the father-daughter dance. I was devastated. I suggested we both walk her down the aisle. Renee interfered and told me I'm just the stepdad and not to mess up her special day. I feel so broken. I have decided that I will not attend the wedding nor pay the remaining $10,000 balance before I already balance after I've already paid $12,000 on the wedding. My wife has called me petty and threatened to divorce me if I mess up the wedding. However, I'm standing firm on my decision. Am I wrong? Bye bye.
You bye bye who? To him?
To the wife. I'll be bye. Bye. You and the doctor foot the rest of the bill. Bye. Bye. Goodbye.
So were your intentions in doing that, did you do that for that? Or did you do it because you love that person?
With my intentions, what? Say it again.
Were your intentions, did you pay for the wedding and were you doing all this with the intention that she would give you the gift of doing the first dance? Or did you do it because you love that person and you love that person like they are? Because when you love somebody, ideally you're not doing it to get anything back in return. And of course, I'm sure you can understand that it is her biological father or whatever.
Okay. All right. Okay. Because I'm just there, getting ready to hit you with the wham bam. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. Because me and my husband, we just had this conversation. We just had this conversation. Okay. And me and my husband had this conversation about my sister, because when he came into my life, like my sister was young. So I used her as an example. I was like, what if she was my child and this situation happened? But like I told him, me knowing him would be going. No, I mean, he's paid for this wedding, he has raised you, he has foot the bill, he's given you cars, he's taking care of you, all this, and your father has not. First of all, the first flag of saying like let me adopt them and she said he's not gonna go for that. It's like, well, how do you know that? Like, so you've been talking to him?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you've been so you know for a fact. Did you ask him? Have you been talking to him? Like, how do you know? And why are you talking to him but he's not talking to his kids? Like, how is this working? And then he don't have a relationship. And if he was in the process of footing a $22,000 bill for a wedding, and you talking about you won't let your daddy because you building a relationship. No, what he gonna do? He be able to sit his ass in the front seat, in the front. You better be glad you in the back, because I don't even think we don't even have a place for you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
No, but no, I'm not. I'm with the stepfather. No, that's just inappropriate to me. That's just inappropriate. So
what about? And again, I'm just playing devil's advocate. What about if they, if she said, because he's my biological father, I'm going to do this with him, the father-daughter dance. But there's another part of the ceremony I want to do with you because you've done so much for me, XYZ. And she found a way to honor both people.
Okay, that's one thing. But everything that's done first would be done with the stepdad.
Okay. Oh, okay. I get you.
So the first dance would be with him. The first acknowledgement would be him. The first, no, I just think that that's inappropriate. Like, and I think that that's she had that conversation with him. Of course, obviously it's a letter, but because he said that he even suggested that they both walk her down the aisle.
Yeah, right. And then she said you're only the stepdad or something like that.
Right. So I don't think that he's like a person who's just not logical. Like, okay, I don't, like I'll even share that with him, even though he may not be worthy, but I will share that with him. But because I just feel like you mean, so this man is going to pay for this wedding, but you have to take a sidebar seat. Absolutely not.
And then the mom jumped into it.
Right. And see that at that point, like, no, I'm going to divorce you. So my thing is I have to question her loyalty. Like, who are you really loyal to? And has he been helping you out along the way? Like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Because this is just too much, because you ought to be loyal to me and you ought to be telling your daughter, hell to the no, no. It's not what we're going to do. So if you don't want us to pull out the rest of this $12,000, then you need to get it together real fast.
Yeah.
So let me see. Michelle said, no, he is not wrong. Excuse me. I feel bad for him because he truly felt like her dad. And then my mom says, I can understand why he would be hurtful. Anybody can be a father, but everybody is not a dad. Right. And then Michelle also says biological dad is disrespectful. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, just for the record, yeah, I do feel like he's out of line for that. But that's a sad situation.
It is.
I wonder what brought her to that decision.
And that's why I'm thinking that
That's
not
what makes
only
me think about it, especially with the mom jumping in, I'll divorce you if you don't show up.
Right. And that makes me think that not only had he been getting back in the girls' lives, that he also, and he was a doctor, that he also probably worked his way back into her life too.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a changed man, you know, everything's, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
All right then. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. I have more topics, so I don't have to do homework for next week because I have about 5 more topics I can carry over.
Okay.
But,
so
yeah, I'm going to sit online for a while and get in contact with these people to see why I cannot stay constant on the show.
Okay.
Michelle just said they are still sleeping together.
That's exactly. What Exactly. And then Walter says, daughter not mature enough handling this situation.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, just keep, y'all. But thank you all so much for commenting.
Yeah, we got what? 3 more shows. Right?
Yes, like I just can't believe it. We will have a guest, I think.
The 26th.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So make sure y'all keep excuse me, y'all keep on watching to the end. Dang, my birthday's coming up too. I'm excited.
When is your birthday?
The 28th, and Asia's birthday is Wednesday.
The 28th of October?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that. What are we doing?
You know what? I kind of had an idea, but I gotta see.
Okay, well, let me know.
Okay, because I want to go out, but I'm a little scared, but I'm not really, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay. All right. Yes, you guys. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Thanks for responding and commenting and just vibing with us. We really appreciate it. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Great week. And we will see you all back here next Monday, same time, same
place.
Right.
All right.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
Good night.
Bye.